Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this week's video, we are going to take a little look at the PC2 from Boss, aka Roland, and the Syncussion, and how I use them both. And I would like to I fully admit that the PC2 doesn't get used as much these days, mainly because I think mine is possibly a little bit broken, and the Syncussion just has more options and can just do more than what the PC2, but they both have a different flavor to them. So let's have a look at them both, and I'll show you how I use them within my tracks. And then, yeah, I will also record a bunch from the PC2 and the Syncussion, just single hits, and put them in a link below so you can grab some of the sounds for yourself and save you some money if you maybe on the fence, maybe you don't really want to spend any money, because at the moment I feel like we're getting gouged from every direction. So if I can give you some free stuff, hey, awesome. And if you use it in your music, awesome too. If you don't worry about it. If you don't want to download them, that's cool too. But let's have a quick overview of both of them and we can go from there. So the PC2 has a, it's like a little sensitivity, and the sensitivity is for the little pad. Mine is very temperamental, so whereas the Syncussion, obviously you can trigger it via MIDI. With this one you can. This one you have an external input, but this one you can do via MIDI, but then it also has a nice easy just trigger button. Nice light to go along with it as well, let you know what's going on. As we come across, we have the decay of the sound, so little glitchy percussion sort of sounds, all the way to full decay. And then obviously this one, really short percussion there, all the way to full decay. We have the pitch, same. We have tune here, so nice and beefy down the low end there. We have a sweep, so no sweep just gives us a sustained note. And then once we increase the sweep, either sweeping down or sweeping up, so sweeping down, we kind of get that more sort of traditional drum sort of sound that we're going for. And then sweeping up can kind of give us effects. We have a sweep on this one, so we can go range, and we can go up. That sort of green velvet. Sort of sound, and down. If we go gives us that real nice sort of beefy sort of sub kick sort of feel. Turn it off. Turn it back on. So we both have sweep on both of them. And then we have the LFO. So this is the rate and the depth. So we can increase the amount. So we go 50%. 50% on speed, that is, and then we increase the depth. We've got the LFO over here as well, so let's go with a square. speed, we'll keep it sort of, we'll go 50%, 50% on the depth. And let's take off the and let's go up and so while you can kind of get those effects on the Syncussion, I feel like the PC2 is a lot better for those sort of spacey sort of sounds. So let's go depth max, speed kind of 25%. All day. Just can't kind of get that same sort of so we can kind of get similar, but I think that the PC2 definitely wins in that regard. We do have some other options on the Syncussion, like the oscillator types and the width, and we also have sample and hold. So I really like sample and hold because it gives you the other option. So if I put the speed, put it up pretty high, and the depth, which you can just keep down low. So off, and then as we bring it on, now the way that I like to use these two machines is very, very different from each other. I will usually have the Syncussion going and I will send triggers into it just to start it playing. And then because it's got MIDI, we can also have melodic triggers. So instead of me kind of going like that, I can use a trigger to start it and then get it going that way. So now I've got the BeatStep Pro connected to the Syncussion, and we just have a simple 4/4 pattern. So we have like a kick kind of going along now. It's tuned down, everything like that. We can then start to add some other rhythms in, but we can then pitch them up with these knobs. So and this is where this device really destroys the PC2. So if we just take out the kicks, so there's one demonstration of how I'd be using the Syncussion to kind of come up with these loops and lines and different percussive elements. Obviously we've made it super busy here, but when I would be making this, I would kind of be getting rid of a lot of these sounds. Maybe. So you kind of get the idea of how we're going about it there. With the PC2, it doesn't really give you that option to kind of have the playing around like that. So let's see if we can get this sequencer going. Kind of getting a decent sort of kick there. Kind of looking at the EQ and just listening. Getting rough peaks around 200 and then a bunch of low ends. So I'm sure if we sort of shaped it a little bit more. There we go. So you can see we get something close, but I feel like the Syncussion, just with all of its benefits and all of the sort of tweakability of it, it gives us a little bit more. And that's pretty much how I use it too. Effects and some kicks and maybe some like little percussive elements. And then this one, I'm just building whole melodic lines and kind of developing the ideas that way. This is definitely a box that I really enjoy, just kind of messing around with the beat step to kind of get these weird rhythms and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, hopefully you've got something out of this. And again, free samples below. You can grab them. So if you don't want to buy a Syncussion or buy a PC2, because it feels like we're getting bombarded from every which direction when it comes to pricing and just spending money. So hopefully you get something out of the free samples. And at the end of the day, hopefully this has inspired you to create something. Until next time, see you later.